Hey y'all, here today on the Carnivore Texan, we're actually going to do a brisket on the smoker. I got everything at HEB. Those are here in Texas, so if you're not in Texas, you are missing out. HEB is the best grocery store by far. Alright, so we're starting off with about a 6-pound brisket. It's just primarily Jason and I. Some of the kids may come over. Here in Texas, pretty much salt and pepper. That's how we're going to do this. And you want to cover it as much as you can. And the reason I'm using this particular salt and not the Redlands is just because I'm using so much of it. Cover it real good. You want a nice bark on your brisket. That's where a lot of that flavor's gonna soak in. A lot of people will put even, I guess, mustard as a binder on there. I typically don't, just because it's not something I feel like I have to do. All right, so we're gonna let that kind of sit for a few minutes, and then we'll flip it over and do the other side. Okay, now we're gonna actually flip this over here. Get some of this. I want to coat as much as I possibly can on this. Now, I've actually been on the carnivore diet now for just a little over a month. I'm down almost 20 pounds actually from my start date. Actually, not too surprised. I had gotten in a bad habit of drinking a lot of beer. It just seems to be like the social thing to do. It's kind of hard to get away from that. I'd actually also had bariatric surgery back in 2017. I did lose 120 pounds after I had that surgery. Of course, like anybody who's had bariatric surgery will tell you, it is a tool, not a complete solution to your problems and addictions with food. Those things, I could eat one cookie and then I want 10. Or the whole box. So, highly recommend going with this carnivore diet. You just feel so much better. All right, so we're gonna let that. And next we are going to get the smoker heating up. Okay, while I'm waiting on Jason, I will share with you guys. One thing I do add for some extra sodium, magnesium, and potassium is I've got these element packets. You just put them in your water. These are great electrolytes, especially if you're just starting out doing the carnivore diet. You will have a really high chance of probably getting some headaches. So these really help out a lot. I usually just have one a day. I know some people probably do more than that. But you just put these in your water and they're really good. A lot of people use the unflavored ones. This one was actually the raspberry salt. I really like that one. The one that's really good is the mango chili, I think. And that one reminds me of sitting and having a margarita. So if you want to try that instead of having alcohol, I suggest that as an option because it kind of gives the same little vibe there on that. So definitely give that a try. So, small hiccup with the smoker. We were actually going to use our big smoker here. We stopped and bought some wood for it. Got home and the wood pieces are way too big. So don't have the saw here at home, so can't actually make them any smaller. So we're actually right here behind me. I'm going to use the electric smoker. I use this quite often. There's really not a whole lot to it. You put your wood chips in and some water and plug it in. It's fairly easy. So we're gonna go with that route today. So this one is actually a master built. I got it online. Do not remember how much it was. It's been a couple years ago. I've actually already got it turned on. Right now we're sitting at about 175. I want to get up to at least 225, 250, which I probably won't get up to 250 because when I open it, it's going to cool back down. But I'll go ahead and show you guys here. We've got the water and the wood chips are already in there. On here, this shouldn't take too long. You're always going to want to cook to an internal temperature, not really by the time. Ready? Go get it. Like I said earlier, you want to smoke your brisket to an internal temperature. The one I choose to do is 195. That way you can pull it off. It's still going to continue to cook because like I said, you're going to let it rest for about an hour after you pull it off the smoker. That way those juices do soak back up in there. What I like to use is this Weber, a digital thermometer. I think I grabbed this at Ace Hardware one day, just running, and you can probably find these just about any grocery store on the barbecue grilling aisle. Pretty simple to use. Just takes a little watch battery, turn it on, works fairly quickly. So the brisket's actually been on the smoker now for about 3 hours. So I'm actually gonna check it with this digital thermometer here and see what the internal temp is right now. I may get ready to wrap it up here in the next hour or so. Let's check it out. Alright, so it looks like that internal temp is sitting about 155. Like I said, we're gonna go up to 195. Okay, so we pulled the brisket off probably about an hour ago. It got up to 195 as far as temperature. So like I said, I've been letting it rest for an hour. I have to actually cut into it here. Oh, lots of juices.